Hello everybody, welcome back to another video on the channel, Mr. Football Loons, and today we're doing Game Week 3 predictions of the Premier League. Now, we're going to be starting off on the 20th of August, and it's going to be Tottenham Hotspurs at their home ground against Wolverhampton Wanderers. And I'm going for 3-0 to Tottenham Hotspur. Now, obviously, big stuff happened at the Chelsea-Spurs game. I'm not going to talk into that, but you know, they didn't play amazing. They got a result, Harry Kane late minute, but that's about it. I think they're home. They're good enough to beat clubs like Southampton, so I assume they're going to be able to beat Wolves. Especially that Wolves attackingly, in my opinion, it's not quite clicking in the attacking yet. Especially from the form from the end of last season, things kind of went through here. They've lost 2-1 against Leeds, and they only drew 0-0 against Fulham. But really, Spurs, they've got a quality team. Ilkay, Harry Kane, Heung-min Son's got abundance of experience and one of the best players. And they've signed Basuma, obviously. They look like the winnable team in this one. So let's move on to Everton, who are home against Nottingham Forest. I'm going to say 0-0 at Goodison Park. To be honest, Everton, you know, even if Salmon Rondon does come on, if he does recover from his injury, it's still not going to be amazing. He's not the best striker. He's all right, maybe not the best. But really, they're playing Gordon up front. They aren't scoring many. You know, they scored one against Aston Villa. I think it was a consolation goal against them. To be fair, they've played all right at the start of the season. Don't think they're going down. But against Nottingham, they're at Goodison Park, so I think they will be able to pick up a point. But Nottingham, they got a fluky goal with Awoniyi. But really, that's about it against West Ham. They at least managed to get 3 points, Nottingham. But against Everton, both sides can't really score goals, massive amounts. And I think they're both going to be in that bottom half of the table. So, a draw, goalless. Moving on to Leicester City at home, who faces Southampton. And I'm going to say 2-1 to Leicester City. Now, I think, looking at statistically, I think they've bottled 6 out of their 7 last games when they've taken the lead. They've taken the lead, and they don't win the game in the past 6 of the 7. Which is pretty poor, but I think they'll go 2-0 up, and it'll be like they're going to be bottling it. I think Southampton will get one back. It'll be 2-1. But I think Leicester can just about hold through. I don't think they're going to bottle it fully this game, especially that they're home. And obviously, you know, the loss in Schmeichel's going to be big. I don't know if they've replaced him yet. But Danny Ward, he played all right. But I think Southampton's just going to get a goal just purely because of the bottlingness from Leicester. And they haven't made any signings. And they've lost Schmeichel. But I think they've got a good enough side, like Maddison, Telemans. You know, they've got a good enough side to get a couple of goals. And they even got a couple of goals against Arsenal. They thought they were back in the game, but they weren't. But 2-1 to Leicester. I mean, Southampton did also play well against Leeds to get a point. But really, most of the game, Southampton was playing like a relegation battle side. Moving on, Fulham at home against Brentford. I'm going for a 2-1 win for Fulham. And yes, you might be thinking Brentford won 4-0 against Manchester United. Very true, very true. They also managed to draw 2 against Leicester from 2-0 down. That's very good. But Fulham, they've been playing exceptional. Against Liverpool, a 2-2 draw. They pressed as a team beautifully. And they did the same against Wolves, getting a clean sheet. So defensively, they coming from the Championship up here, I don't think they had the qualities. But obviously, they have the qualities to keep a clean sheet against Wolves, because Wolves attacking it very good. I think really, Brentford, they are good enough to definitely give Fulham a chance. You know, it's going to be a very close game in my opinion. I think Fulham, you know, the start of the season's been going well. I think they'll finally be able to pick up the 3 points. I think Brentford are going to be surprised how Fulham are going to play. You know, they're going to think like they're going to, you know, easily win this game. But then they don't realise Fulham, Alexander Mitrovic, he's going to get 2 goals. Mitrovic, absolute superb. Obviously, first game of the season. Was poor not to score that penalty, though, against Wolves. But, hey-ho, I think Fulham are going to finally do it, especially at their home against an easier club. 2-1 Fulham. Moving on, Crystal Palace at home against Aston Villa. I'm going 2-1 win for Crystal Palace. Now, it could easily be a draw, to be honest, between the two sides. Aston Villa getting a good 2-1 win against Everton. Obviously, Steven Gerrard, in terms of having like a really bad record as a manager, the team looks good. But Crystal Palace, Eze and Zaha was absolutely tremendous. Those two, that attacking duo is beautiful, to be honest. And then their two centre-backs who can, they're Premier League quality, Gay and Anderson, absolute great centre-backs. And the goalkeeper is good enough to keep him up this season. I think against Aston Villa, it's the start of the season. They look shaky against Bournemouth. They kind of recovered against Everton, but going away again, I think they will sadly get a loss. I think it will be a close game, but from the corner, I think Crystal Palace will do well, and that Eze and Zaha is going to be hard for Aston Villa to break down. But overall, if they play Mings, I could be wrong here. If Mings have as good a game as they did against Everton, it could be completely wrong. Let's move on. Bournemouth, who are home against Arsenal. I'm going to say 2-0 to Arsenal. To be honest, Bournemouth, they got a win just purely because Aston Villa played bad. They played bad. It was shocking. They played bad, so Bournemouth got a win. They lost 4-0 against Manchester City. Can't really blame them. They obviously are in a relegation battle. But really, they're home here. Against Arsenal, I don't think they'll really put anything into this game. I don't think they've got a chance one bit against Arsenal. How they played against Leicester City, they can score goals. We know that. Ramsdale, he can save shots. He's going to save all the Bournemouth shots, which I think will be very few. I think Arsenal will dominate all around the pitch, even away against Bournemouth. I think Solanke, he is just about Premier League football, but in my opinion, he's only really going to be banging 8 goals. He's not really the greatest Philip Billing yet, but they're only really championship players. Arsenal have got experience. They've got Gabriel Jesus. Easy 2-0 win for Arsenal. Sorry, Bournemouth fans. Moving on the 21st of August, a whole new day. West Ham United are home facing Brighton and Hove Albion. I'm going for a 1-0 win for West Ham United. And purely because Brighton, they've lost, I think, their striker Mwape going to Forest. To be honest, he was okay striker. Danny Welbeck has started to perform, but really, Brighton haven't scored at all against Newcastle. They absolutely dominated Newcastle United. It was quite a shocker. In previous games against Newcastle, Brighton did win 3-0 twice, and there is a couple of 0-0 draws as well out there against Newcastle, but they seem to always dominate them, Brighton. But against West Ham, they're away. West Ham are going to wanting to have full throttle here. Brighton, I think, really, Declan Rice is going to really stop Brighton. Obviously, maybe he's not a penalty taker, Declan Rice, but he can really do something in that CDM. And not just that, he's very versatile. And West Ham, they've got great players. Jaron Bowen, Benrahma. They had quite a few chances against Forest. This time home, they got 2 losses. They're so determined. They're going to boost everything they've got at it. Against a Brighton side that need to score goals, and I don't think they can. I think West Ham have got this in the bag, 1-0. Moving on, Leeds United versus Chelsea. I'm going to go a big score. 7-goal thriller, 5-2 to Chelsea. Now, to be honest, Leeds are home. Leeds played absolutely exceptional against Southampton, but they bottled it. And I'm going to say they're going to bottle it again. I think they're going to be 2-0 up against Chelsea. But I think Chelsea will get back here. I think they'll be 2-0 up after like 30 minutes. Everyone will be, oh my god. And then Chelsea will just smack 5 goals in. Just purely because the defence at Leeds isn't good enough. Their left-back situation specifically. Meslier, it's going to be hard for Meslier. I think he will do good enough. Well, not obviously good enough, but he will do okay. The best he can do, really, at the side. Brendan Harrison, full of energy. Rodrigo, I think he can do something in striker. I think Jack Harrison whipping the balls in as well. They've got amazing attack, but the defence just isn't good enough. And I think bottling against Southampton, they like bottling Leeds United. I think they'll get tons of chances, especially with that cam, Brendan Harrison, full of energy. But they cannot, they cannot defend. So for that, 5-2 to Chelsea. Moving on to a new game, Newcastle United are home against Manchester City. I'm going to go 2-1 Man City. Now, I think Newcastle United, obviously Nick Pope, what a player. He was the only player that really turned up. Obviously, the defence obviously turned up. Getting 2 clean sheets out of 2. I think they won't concede too many, but against City, it's going to be hard. I think Nick Pope will save quite a few of their shots. I think Newcastle also have chances, especially at St. James's Park. The spirit there is beautiful. I think they will get chances. They will get a goal, in this game. But City, they just got too good of a squad. Winning 2-0 against West Ham is great. Winning 4-0 against Bournemouth. Their squad is beautiful. You know, they've got a great squad. You know, Erling Haaland's definitely going to really skip up Newcastle. But can Newcastle hold on with their stamina? I don't think so. City, just overall better. I think it'll be quite a tight game, but City will last longer in the game to keep on going. So I think City will win it. Moving on to a whole new day, the 22nd of August, last game of this prediction video. It's going to be Manchester United at home against Liverpool. And I'm going to say 2-1 to Liverpool. Now, overall, Man United are going through some stinky days, really. Erik ten Hag comes in. I mean, many managers Man United have had. Erik ten Hag thought they'll be the saviour to try and get them in that title contesting. And at the moment, they're losing 4-0 to Brentford and 2-1 against Brighton. They're currently last after 2 games. Yes, it is only early on in the season, but still, it's not good enough. I don't think they'll be able to get a win just because of their poor form at the start of the season. I think they're still not going to be able to get a win, even at home, but I think they will improve. They still had a bit of possession and a bit of shots at Brentford, but Fred on Match of the Day looked so confused. He had no clue what was going on. It was absolute shambles, absolute shambolic. Man United, absolute diddly squat for a team. I mean, De Gea also had shambles, but Liverpool, they did get a red card. Nunes, I believe he headbutted someone out of the blue because I think someone fouled him. But that, you know, it's not good. But obviously, I think Jota can do the same job as Nunes, in my opinion. I think Jota's good enough. I think he'd be good enough to get a win here. And I think Liverpool start to get winning days just because Man United have been playing terrible. So Liverpool got an easy 3 points. I'm doing a new point system. Now, a lot of people probably do this. But basically, to get a point in this, you have to get the score right. Like whether they'll win, draw, or lose. To get 2 points in it, in total, for a game, you're going to have to predict the exact result. Like if I predicted 2-1, it was 2-1, I get 2 points. If I only predicted 1-0, it was 1. If it was 2-0, I'll get only 1 point. But yeah, I'm doing a new prediction. I mean, going into game week 1, I had a stinker, 4 points in total. Then last week, I only got 2 points. But to be fair, 5 results. If there was just 1 more goal scored, I would have got loads more points. So I was close in a way. But shambles week, hopefully I can do better in game week 3. In total, we've got 6 points. So that will wrap up my today's video. Hopefully you can like and subscribe. And always remember to turn on notifications to miss one of my fantastic YouTube videos. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.